Well, if you want to gamble, I'm your man. Win some, lose some, all the same to me. Hey, folks, welcome back. It's Final Fantasy VIII on the Mysterious JG. A brand new weekend of videos for those watching as these go up. Last time we were looking at Renault's butt, apparently. I looked ahead a little bit at a FAQ. Just for the heck of it, I'll let you know. The FAQ I'm using is by... oh, wait, no, I can't actually see where I told... Oh, Bover87. It's made within the last year. There are really extensive FAQs for this game that were already out there. But this one is in HTML form. It makes it easier to navigate around through. And was made after the remaster, so I figured it's updated for remaster changes. And I can't promise that this weekend won't see some involvement with the card minigame. But as I mentioned at the end of the last video, it's kind of fun to me that we're going to get to go back and revisit some of the places that we've... Well, Dollet, I suppose. To see that they continue to exist as places with people doing stuff after your exciting battle through there that was part of the, I guess, demo for this game is done with. But we also have to chat with our party members. They're going to want to know what's causing all this. Renoa and Kaitis know nothing about... Well, never mind. Never mind. I was about to go in a direction that would probably count as a spoiler for anyone who's not familiar with the story of the game. But yeah, we now have a party of 5, which sounds like a reference to a sitcom or something that I'm not really familiar with. And the game doesn't just let us switch parties whenever we want to, although I believe we'll pretty soon have open roam going on the world map, at which point I believe we maybe will get to do that. Because at this point, we don't have like a story thing where Renoa needs to be in the party, and then Renoa has to leave the... Like, that whole bit with Renoa leaving the party after we got to the TV station, but then we get her back in the party, or have the option of putting her back in the party before anything of any import happens. Like, I kind of don't get that, but, you know, whatever. Let's move on with the story.
What? What's the matter?
Tut, tut, tut.
We should get there shortly, so we'll be all right out here.
Dut, dut, dut. Oh, man.
I love trains.
Oh, trains!
Train, train, take us away, far away. To the future we will go, lead it where it leads, no one knows. If you like to gamble, I'm your woman. Win some, lose some, it's all the same to... I'm gonna hang out here for a bit.
I'm anticipating needing to play Triple Triad.
I'm gonna hang out here for a bit. You can't open that door, silly.
So the last time we were on this exact same train, this door took us to a room where Zell bounced around like a goof, and then we passed out and had that weird experience where we were sucked into an episode in the lives of Laguna, Kyros, and Ward, whom we still don't really know what's going on with them.
No time to rest, really. Not even time to rest, really. I mean,
I'm turning into Lethal. Lethal does these live streams where he has to read the text that's on the screen, and he's got about an 85% accuracy rate.
What? What's the matter? What's going on, Holmes?
Can I play cards with you? Is that a way to win your card? I have her card. I have Zell's card. Leave him alone or stay put. I guess maybe I should have chosen stay put if I wanted to actually get dialogue with him. I didn't really think about that. I just kind of chose the default. East Academy Station. Get off or continue. The FAQ I'm looking at actually says you should continue in order to do your side questing stuff. But that's where we actually want to get off for story purposes. Dollet Station. We're not allowed to get back on board. So there you can see the world map. That huge, huge continent off to the far eastern part of the map. Yeah, this is the thing. This here's Balam. This is Timber. Galbadia Garden. Galbadia itself is, I guess, this zone over here. Here's Dollet. So at the beginning of the game, we traveled from Balam to Dollet to defend it against Galbadia, which is kind of over here. Then we went to Timber. All this, you're thinking, wow, there's so many cities left to explore. No, we've seen most of the cities. That's not true. We have to visit a city in Galbadia. Because this whole place turns out to be like, you know, we'll get around to it eventually, kind of like weird ruins zone. And then there's this huge chunk of territory here is completely like forest populated by monsters and no people. It's weird how much of the actual map of the world is not really used. Anyway. So we can stand up to trains. We're not worried about them. But this is the way to go if you want to go to Dollet. Where the beginning of the game was.
Galbadia Garden? Well, you're in Dollet there now. Not quite there yet. You can see it from the outskirts of town, but it's kind of difficult to get there. So, like, if you move around in the car, it's, like, real fast and real safe.
Forget it. Let's save the game in case I do something stupid as far as spreading the wrong card rules, because that's part of what you're doing here is dealing with spreading the card rules that you want to use.
You seem to know rules unfamiliar with this region. Let's play a game with rules from Galbadia.
Yeah. Open random same elemental trade rule 1. So you do not want these rules. The same rule is spread throughout this region. I don't like that rule, but... So, I think we're doing it wrong. I think what we want to do is exit and load and get rid of random. At the very least, we got to get rid of random. Random is terrible. Instead of picking your most powerful cards, you get random cards from your deck, which means you get a bunch of shitty cards that you have to play. So we want open any of those except random. Random being abolished is what we want. I think I'm doing it wrong. Open is good. But as you can see, you don't get to pick which cards you... So that's kind of crap. This is your man. Your man. Flip that and I'll end up losing it, but get it back. So I do win, but Yeah, I guess I don't understand how changing the card rules works. Because they suggest, okay, so simply play the girl to the car rental area until either rule change or she stops asking. If either open, spread, or random is abolished, return to timber. So what did it actually say? Now I'm confused. Did it say the open rule spread throughout the region? I think what I'm supposed to do is switch regions. And when every time I go from one region to another, it does this. Well, alrighty. Easiest way for us to get back to timber, which is oddly enough the next thing that we want to do, is just run along on the train tracks. Because despite the presence of trains to get you from one place to another, going from one place to another on foot in this game is still like 10 times faster than going anywhere in Red Dead Redemption 2 or 1. Because, yeah, we're basically... We just... That whole train trip where, like, it had 2 different stops and we missed a stop. We've already made it almost all the way back to timber. I think. Although now I'm confused. Woo! Woo! Spring break! Anybody got anything we care about here? You have something we don't already have. Oh, float! We actually do kind of care about float, so I guess we'll... I'm not going to use her limit break. We haven't used her limit break yet, but I'll end up accidentally killing something. So there you go. I mean, I didn't see anything in the card game where I could have gotten float, but it would have been quite easy to accidentally waste a million turns or a million card games getting float, because then you run into something that you just get float right now. And that is the Thrustavis. The Great Sir Thrustalot, a monster on the Galbadian continent, usually swoops down to attack enemies, but also bites and causes wind gusts when endangered. So the thing about these guys is I believe you can also get arrow from them, and at really high levels, possibly even tornado. But we've already got tornado from a bunch of items, and we're never going to bother with arrow because I started stocking it and then realized, oh, I'm going to freaking run out of... I'm going to run out of space for all these different spells. It's kind of like you have Fire is level 1, Firaz level 2, and Firaga's level 3. Well, air is kind of its own element in this game, but there's no level 1. It's like arrow is kind of air 2, and tornado is kind of air 3. There just is no air 1. So at this point, I'm like, alright, just grab tornado, the 3rd level spell. Did we accidentally cast it instead of... We accidentally cast it instead of stocking it. And that's why she's floating. It's very useful in a small number of situations. Though honestly, there is a decent chance that this is one that my stock of 99 or 100 floats is going to be... I'll have a stock of 300 floats, but it'll be on the characters who are the bench characters, most likely. As a matter of fact, the only time in the game I can remember using it is a certain boss fight where the monster that you're fighting, you actually want to cast float on that monster. They do kind of a play on the old, whichever Hercules legend it is, where I guess it's Atlas? Is it Atlas? Somebody Hercules is fighting in his legendary journeys. As long as he touches the earth, he will always be healed of his wounds. So Hercules basically lifts him up over his head and squeezes him to death. But they do kind of a play on that with a boss later on where you want to cast float on them so that they don't have a constant regeneration effect. Although with the overpowered junctions that we have at our disposal, we probably don't even need to. The game like really hints strongly at you that you're supposed to do that little trick, but I don't think you need to win. And in fact, with our stats, unless it's like set up that you automatically can't win that fight without using that trick, I believe we'll be fine. But yeah, even more than the silliness of the card game, which I'm doing a ton of, more than I meant to on screen and a ton of off screen, this is what I remember Final Fantasy VIII being about from my playing it before. It's just lengthy battles where you're just letting enemies stay alive so you can drain their magic powers. And I guess I could speed it up here. Because, oh, we'll cast that on. Oh. Nobody needs it, never mind. I mean, it still takes a while doing it this way, but this is a lot faster than it is, And somebody said, isn't there some kind of memory cursor thing? I think there is. If I started using it now, it would actually really throw me off. I'm used to having to go through and selecting those options. Fucking Angelo Rush, damn it. That means we're going to get experience for this battle. So Squall might level up because of Renoa's, like, periodically triggering I get attacked so my dog attacks you thing that she has. Looks like Selfie is the one who, for whatever reason, I was using to cure or something in the first rounds. So she is not fully healed up like everyone, or fully floated up. And the other thing is that once you, you're doing 3 times speed and then you switch off, the game suddenly feels really slow. Alright, well, thanks, Renoa. Now I remember why you don't want her in your party, because she'll occasionally wipe out enemies like that. I kind of forgot about that. So we're going to get some experience. Did we? Maybe we didn't. Maybe because we ran away we didn't. No, we did. Next level, 998. So, Squall leveled up. Alright, Renoa. You just cost yourself a spot in the party because you leveled up Squall. We didn't want that to happen. I don't think it's worth going back over, and because Squall is going to level up a few times over the course. It's really difficult to avoid it. You can go to extreme lengths so that he only levels up like 3 times over the course of the story or something like that. But it's really hard to have him not leveling up at all. I think Timber is nearby, but I'm not sure. Yep, it's right there. Oh, come on. We're on the outskirts here. Although I guess I'm glad I encountered those thrust Davises, because otherwise I wouldn't have... Electrocute, Degenerator. She does not have White Wind, which is something we can get at this point, according to the FAQ. If I find a certain enemy and mug it for its rare item. Meantime, this video is a colossal failure so far. That is exactly what I didn't want to happen, and I should have saved first. God damn it! Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to load, which means that Squall didn't level up. So that's good. Because he should be at level 8 now, instead of 9. Yes, okay. I will fight a Thrust Avis off screen to get... we'll fight a Thrust Avis off screen to get the... to get float. I won't make you guys sit through that again. Okay, that is... What you want to do is spread the open rule, and you want to abolish random, like, everywhere. Save here just in case I screwed it up. We'll never be able to play a cipher again, though. Make sure I understand this right, though. Same spread, elemental abolished, or nothing else. If same spread, elemental abolished, or nothing else, have to stop asking, reset. If open spread, or random abolished, return to Timber. He'll ask to mix rules, decline until he stops asking, then play a game. Oh, I wasn't supposed... Damn it, I wasn't supposed to play with the guy in Timber. See, you're real-time watching me learn how to manipulate the fucking card game. So here's what we're going to do. I think this is the wrong way, isn't it? That's probably the right way. We go to Timber. We don't actually want to... I think I'm not supposed to play cards with him. Return to Timber and challenge entrance. He'll ask to mix rules. Decline until he stops asking. So he really wants to mix rules. He really wants to mix these rules. Thank you. Jeez. Now we get back our regular old rules, and we need to find the card queen to spread all again, because I broke that at some point. But all we got to do is win a game here to reestablish Balam rules. Because whenever we go to a new area, they ask to play with different rules, but I believe we can keep our own rules. Like, there's certain rules that always seem to apply to us. I'm not making sense, not even to myself at this point. Never mind. Ace of spades. Ace of spades. Ace of spades. I don't really care which one of these I get. No, actually, I don't think those things are worth much of anything. yeah, all these cards are not things I care about right now, but... Although, actually, hold on. There's something else I'm supposed to do while I'm here. Yeah, because they don't stop me from coming in. But the game... It is a little bit of a confusing place to get to, Galbadia Garden, but, no, the game is kind of like... It's kind enough that the town entrances, they'll have NPCs who try to help you get where you're going, but what we actually want to do at this point is go to the Timber Hotel and stay here, because... at this point, timber is timber. The game doesn't care if it's been, like, 5 minutes since the plot here stopped and we left town on a train and bypassing the guards and blah blah, or if we come back 8 hours of gameplay later. Now it's like we should be allowed to stay at the inn. Welcome, stay for the night. 100 gil. And the only reason we came here is to get Timber Maniacs. Or Tim Manny. That's right, fuck you, Gatey. Thank you for your business, please come again. I left something in my room. I need to go back in there. I think I left my purse. Fuck you. I still don't understand if it's Gatey or her dad that she thinks is smart. Oh, and we no longer have random encounters here, so that's nice. I'm pretty sure the game won't let us go back to Balam, but this is the other thing we have to do. We have to talk to this guy. Man, I've been working hard to become a true entertainer / journalist, but lately I've been stuck in a rut. Maybe it's time for me to give up. No way. Yes, you should. It seems like if you're playing, like role-playing as Squall, you would tell him, yeah, give up. But, no. You actually want to tell him no way. Apparently it's important for a quest later. You're right. I shouldn't give up so easily. And that's it. That's what we have to do in Timber, according to the FAQ. I do not believe there's any way for us to find Zone and Watts and, you know, the members of the Resistance. We could go talk to that lady at her house. I don't think she has anything particularly important or useful to say. Mostly we came here to get that one bit of story, or rather, later plot going. And sadly, we don't get to... Although, let's just go all the way in there. Now we're just gonna, like, run at full train speed. That little forest right there is actually where the story wants us to go next. But, we're going to be the masters of our own destiny, or rather, we're going to let, Bover 87 be the master of our destiny, and do some side questing first. Okay, so that was a bit of a non-video. I apologize. What I'm going to do is, off-screen, I might treat myself to a little, I don't think he's watching this Let's Play, so I probably shouldn't be putting him over to use the Wrestle Speak, but I'm probably going to listen to some of All Dragon's current Let's Play of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, because you've probably heard of that if you're watching this LP, since there's, like, you know... If you're watching this LP, then you're probably enough of a Final Fantasy fan to know that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is out. Having too many games I need to get played and want to play, including going through this one again, I don't know when I'll ever get around to that, so I'm just going to allow myself to watch All Dragon play through it instead. You know, for now, I'm like 5 videos in. I haven't signed a contract to say I'm going to watch the whole thing if the game loses my interest. But for now, I will off-screen do a little bit of combat. I might off-screen, and if I do so, I'll just kind of describe it for you. I might go try to fight this enemy where we can mug an item from it that we need to teach Kaitis blue magic. What I might also do, actually, if I can encounter that enemy, I might just pop in, record just a quick fight with it to showcase it. And then... why am I dragging this out? I'm probably going to get Float. Then I will find that enemy. It's an Adamantoise. I don't know why I'm being coy. Adamantoise has a an item that we can mug it from, I'd have to go into the junctions and set everyone's strength to be junction to nothing so we don't accidentally kill it and get experience. But I can probably mug and run away, and if I'm able to do that, I'll save, and then the next video I'll probably just show you that real quick. And then I'll also have float, because that's what's really important right now, guys, is the card game. I mean, float. I mean, everything that's important is everything that's not going on in this Let's Play right now, which is advancing the story. I don't think we'll have that much to do in Dollet. I'm hoping we can knock it all out in the video, but then again, I expected to get a little further in this video than I did. But it is what it is. We'll see you guys next time.